Hi, thanks for joining me on the virtual Y today. My name is Amanda and we will be doing chair yoga. Chair yoga is just a little bit more of a supported form of yoga, but everything will still be very much the same in terms of keeping our breath as the main focus and allowing ourselves to honor ourselves. So if anything feels uncomfortable, just do what you can and let's get started. So go ahead and make sure that you're seated in the middle, our back away from the back of the chair. Legs come down. Hands on the thighs just for a few moments here, taking our inhales and our exhales and just noticing our breath pattern. How fast are we breathing? How slow are we breathing? Because that pattern will judge how fast we move in our practice today. And allowing ourselves to fully fill up, so feeling our ribs come away in the inhale, widening out here, and exhaling, allowing ourselves to contract a little bit more to get all the air out. Inhaling a few more times just like that, nice and deep. And exhaling. On your next inhale, we're going to raise our arms up, dropping one arm off to the side, the other arm stays up, and we're just going to do a slight bend off to one side. Trying not to let our shoulders come up, but allowing them to relax so we feel the lengthening through here. And supporting ourselves on the side of the chair with our other arm. Inhaling back up through center and exhaling opposite side. Let's go ahead and do one more each way, inhaling up through center and exhaling back to our first side. Maybe pulling that top shoulder back just a little bit more. Inhaling back up through the center and exhaling over to our other side. Inhaling back through center, palms coming down. And here we're going to go ahead and inhale, and on the exhale we're twisting off to one direction, not forcing it with our hands, but allowing our core to do the work, and then just letting our hands drop. Take a few breaths here and notice each time you exhale, maybe it becomes a little easier to go a little deeper. Head can be wherever it needs to. It can look behind you, in front of you, or it can follow your shoulders. And inhale back through the center. Exhale off to the other side. Very nice. Using our leg and the chair to kind of support our body in holding the twist here, but not forcing the deep. Inhaling and exhaling a few times here. Inhaling back through center. Coming up with the hands, maybe arching the back just a tad, tipping our hips forward on the chair, and allowing ourselves to come through, reaching for our toes. You can also use your forearms on your thighs as a little bit more of a support, but allowing your back to round and relax into the pose. Inhaling halfway, so coming up, hands supported by the knees, and exhaling back down. Inhaling back up. Exhaling the hands back down to the thighs. Inhaling, twisting back to our first side here, using the core, not our hands, until we find our limit, and then allowing the hands to drop there. And the limit can be different each time that we go into these twists. So just going where you're comfortable, but maybe a little challenging, but never painful. Inhaling back through center, exhaling to the opposite side. Same thing, having our core do the work. And when we find that spot, dropping the hands to allow our bodies to relax into it. Keeping with the inhale and the exhale. coming back to center. Inhaling the arms up, tipping the hips forward so our lower back and our mid-back arch just a tad. And then exhaling, coming down. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling all the way back down. Inhaling, coming back up through center. Hands can either come to heart center or rest here. But what we're gonna do next is take a big inhale, getting nice and wide here, arms coming out, feeling the stretch through our chest, arching the back just a tad, and exhaling, allowing ourselves to ball up a little bit, the back rounding. Inhaling, coming up, big space here. Exhaling, back rounding. Let's go ahead and do one more of each. Inhaling big, exhaling and rounding. Inhaling back to our neutral before exhaling, allowing ourselves to fold all the way down. And this time, take a wider stance in the feet, so heel toe kind of walk out. So maybe your feet are just a little wider than the chair legs. So here's the supported forearms on the thighs, allowing yourself to lean over. Or if you want to reach for that floor, go for it, but allowing yourself to really sink in and feel the hips opening up here. Going down only as low as you feel like you want to. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling all the way back down. Inhaling halfway, and then supporting us all the way back up, taking a moment here to inhale and exhale before we go ahead and make our way to a standing position. Inhaling, the arms coming up, and making sure that the chair is still right behind you safely. We're going to sit the hips back, just slightly touch it. Or if you need a little bit more support, you can sit fully down, but our arms are up, our chest is forward, and it's almost like we're trying to squat and pretend there's a chair there without fully using the chair. Inhaling, full stance. Exhaling, dipping back down. Inhaling one more time. Exhaling, sitting all the way back down before allowing ourselves to come back down to the center. Inhaling ourselves up, taking a moment, and exhaling, standing full up. So coming off to the side of the chair, we're gonna go into our first down dog. So the hands plant on the chair, your feet take just a slight step back, and you're going to allow yourself to kind of walk the hands out to where you feel a stretch right in here, but you're still supported by your hands, nice strong feet, and just allow your head to relax through the arms. If you want, you can grab on a little bit and maybe pull back just a tad, but feeling our back really lengthen out. Another thing that I really like to add into these is maybe allowing our hips to go from one side to the other, so then you get a nice little side stretch as you're in here. So just shifting the hips, shifting the weight. Very good. Walking the hands back to us, taking a step forward with the feet, taking a moment here before we stand up into our mountain pose, arms coming down by our side. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling, maybe now trying to plant the forearms on the chair. So that might be a little bit further down for you. Inhaling half, exhaling back down to the forearm, and inhaling all the way up. Hands coming together, heart center, before the hands come back down. Taking a slight step back, inhale up, exhale, hands come down to the chair, walk it forward into our second down dog. Very nice. And just holding here for a little bit again, really working on that side stretch, making sure that the legs aren't locked, but just slightly bent. And coming back so that our chest is right above our hands on the chair. We're gonna go ahead and take our left hand and reach it up. So a little twist here. And back to the chair. Going ahead with the right, inhaling up. And exhaling back. Let's go ahead and do one more each side. Left hand comes up during our inhale. And back down. Right hand comes up, inhale, and back down. Inhale half, exhale forearms. Inhale all the way up. And coming back to the front of our chair, we're gonna go ahead and have a seat. Sitting more towards the edge of the chair now, we're gonna take a nice wide stance here. So very much supported still where your hands are on your thighs, but now we're gonna start getting into the inner thigh stretches. So taking one hand up and over. If you wanna go a little deeper, rest that forearm down and pull your core nice and forward. Feel that side loosening up, but also feeling a little stretch on the inner thighs. Back to the center. And exhaling off to the opposite side, using our forearm as the support. Inhaling back through center. And exhaling, coming down to the middle, using either your hands on your thighs, or if you want to, you can reach for that ground and just allow yourself to melt in between. So making sure we don't have any head rush. If you have head rush, please sit back in the chair and take a few moments. Inhaling, coming back up, straightening one, turning so that this leg is still out a little bit, but our main focus is over our other foot, and just slightly bending into it. So feeling a nice little hamstring. You might have to scooch around on the chair to find a good spot. Coming back up, opposite side, so straightening that leg, scooching around so you find a good, comfortable position before going down into that stretch. Not making sure that we have our hands on our knees, but we want them on our thighs or our shins. Very nice. Inhaling back up through center, readjusting as needed. And heel toe, so it's a little more narrow for you. We're gonna go ahead and lengthen both feet. Pointing the toes, feeling the length in our shins. Inhaling up and exhaling, the toes pull back towards the shins. And exhaling, coming down. Feeling our hamstrings stretch out. Keep pulling those toes back to the shin. If your hands can reach, maybe helping them out a little bit. If not, hands can come shins, calves, or thighs. Inhaling back up, pointing the toes, lengthening back up. And exhaling, pulling the feet towards you and releasing down. Good job. Inhaling, coming back up, planting the feet, inhaling the arms, leaning slightly forward, and exhaling, fully standing now, and arms come down. So we're gonna go ahead and come off to the side of our chair so we're in front, but the chair is on our side. We're going to step one leg on the side of the chair, and we're gonna move the other leg back around. So we're in a supported crescent warrior. So if this is uncomfortable, you can have the other leg up here as well. But we're gonna go ahead and stay in this crescent warrior. Hips are forward, front leg is supported by the chair, and go ahead and really stretch into it, feeling that lengthening down this leg. Very good. And exhale, coming down, either grabbing onto the chair or if you can reach the floor, whichever one is more comfortable for you. Inhaling, coming up and allowing ourselves to turn and off to the other side. So just switching our hips around here. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, coming down, using either the chair or the floor. Making sure that we're keeping with our breath here. And inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, meeting back into neutral. Feet come together in the front, and exhaling, folding forward. Allowing yourself to really release here, allowing the back to round, the lower back to release any tension that you might have been holding. Very nice. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling all the way up. We're going to go ahead and make our way up to standing. Coming to the side and into our down dog position. So arms are extended, hips are back, head is between the arms. Inhaling halfway and exhaling, taking a step towards the chair before facing me. So we're gonna go ahead and work on some balancing poses, tree being the first one. So we're gonna use our chair as the support, and we're gonna start with a baby tree. So just the heel comes up onto the other ankle, toes are planted. You can either have your hands here or up or wherever you're comfortable. But just taking a moment to feel our knee opening up just a tad and starting to play with some balance. Once you're comfortable or you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper into this, go ahead and bring that foot back up to the calf and allow yourself to just really focus here, finding your focal point just out in front of you. And allow yourself to inhale and exhale. Try not to allow that hip to relax. You want to stay nice, upright, strong like a tree. Releasing that foot down and taking a step back with it. Keeping our feet straight. We're just going to hinge at the hips, using the chair for support. Taking our other arm and just twisting into it just a tad. Revolve triangle. Coming back into the center. Taking our step up, inhaling all the way up, and exhaling heart center. Go ahead and switch the sides here. We're going to use our chair once more to do tree on the opposite side. So again, starting small. And small is never bad. So if this is your tree today, go ahead and hold it and find your focal point. And if you want to go a little deeper, go ahead and pick that leg up, forming your foot along your calf. And again, being mindful of this hip that probably wants to come out, but standing up nice and tall. Hands again can be up, on your thigh, or on your hip, whatever is comfortable. But just finding our focus here. Allowing that knee to open up maybe a little bit more. Taking a few breaths. And when you're ready, releasing it back down before stepping it back, keeping both legs straight and releasing down. Inhaling and exhaling, twisting into our revolved triangle. Not forcing it, but just a nice little release here. Inhaling back through center and exhaling, standing, hands coming to heart center once more. Coming back to our chair. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, sitting the hips back ever so slightly, but not quite touching the chair. Inhaling up. And exhaling, having a full seat and folding forward. Inhaling half. Exhaling all the way down. And really releasing here, maybe taking a little bit of a wider stance. Feet just outside of the chair and really relaxing into this. Feeling the hips open up again. Inhaling, slowly making our way seated. We're going to go ahead and allow our hands to relax down. If you have a ledge on your chair like I do, feel free to maybe just fingertip grip them. You don't want to really crank down, but just a slight secure. We're going to go ahead and lean our head off to one side, feeling the stretch right in this area. And inhaling back through center and exhaling opposite side. You might notice one side's tighter than the other. That's absolutely okay, and that can change day by day. So just going to the limit that each side has to offer. Back up through center. Let's go ahead and go off one more time each side. And back to the other side. Inhaling, coming back through center. We're going to go ahead and turn our head off to one direction. And go ahead and turn it to the opposite side. So really loosening up here, coming down from our practice, coming back to center, looking up, and moving the jaw with you. So you feel that stretch right in here. And allowing yourself to release the neck. Maybe feeling a little bit of a pull on your shoulders, down your back, but really releasing. Go ahead and look up one more time, bringing the jaw and releasing down. Now what we're gonna do is bring our ankle up so we're sitting cross-legged. And you're gonna sit up nice and tall, flex the foot, and you should feel a stretch down your glute and into your leg, but sitting up nice and tall, maybe using your hands just as a support to secure that stretch. Holding here, keeping that foot flexed. feeling the hip loosen up a little bit more. And when you're ready, exhaling off to the side. Inhaling back through center. And go ahead and release that foot, and we're going to go ahead and switch. Bringing that opposite ankle up to meet our thigh, sitting nice and tall, maybe tipping the hips forward a little bit to feel a little bit more of a deeper stretch. Secure the stretch with your hands, pulling that foot back and just relaxing into it. When you're ready, exhaling, rotating to the opposite side. Inhaling back through center, releasing that. And if you want, bringing one leg up, cradling the knee towards the chest, maybe swinging it out just a tad, releasing that hip. Bringing it down, we're going to go ahead, switch sides, cradling the opposite knee up to our chest and allowing it to swing out. And releasing it back down. Go ahead, take another wide stance here. Inhaling, standing up in our wide stance, coming up, big stretch. Arms coming up, but making sure that the shoulders aren't following. And releasing down to a wide angle, using the chair if you need to. And folding forward. Inhaling, coming back up. Bringing the legs back to a narrow stance. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, rotating to one direction and dropping the hands. So coming back to our start here for our nice last little bit of cool down. Inhaling back and exhaling off to the opposite side. Inhaling back through the neutral, big up, exhale off to one side, noticing the familiar movements again. And inhaling back through center and off to the opposite side. Inhaling back through center, coming wide with the arms, tipping the hips forward, arching, before exhaling and releasing down. Inhaling, making our way back up to seated. One hand placed on the chest, one on the belly. Feeling your breath, maybe noticing if it's changed a little bit, but really connecting with it here. I thank you for joining me with Chair Yoga today. Again, my name is Amanda. I teach at the South Oakland YMCA as well as the Birmingham YMCA. So come visit us, look up at the website to see what classes we offer, and we'd love to see you there or again here on the Virtual Y. Have a good one and make sure that you take your rest.